Thank you to DNA Sports Talk for coming through, checking us out, and rocking with us. We'll be sure to have him in the studio pretty soon. And, NFL season is underway. I know I'm excited. Are you excited?
I smell the grass. The grass is growing up, man. So, it's a good sign. It's a good sign.
H, you're a Jets fan. So,
oh, God.
Do y'all still get excited about football?
No, we don't.
Well, it's a lot of things going on, and something that fascinates me is what is going on in L.A. with the Los Angeles Rams. Now, Sam Kroenke knew when he took the team back to L.A., they were in L.A. a few years ago, that he was going to have to find a way to get cats to come to the game, and he's putting out a stellar roster to try to get this done. First and foremost, Todd Gurley. Let's talk about Todd Gurley and the money that this brother is about to be making.
Ooh,
Todd Gurley, he was a star here at Georgia. We know what he did with Georgia. He's also represented by Rock Nation. So we got to give an applaud to Rock Nation because they're making a lot of big moves this offseason with their players. We'll talk about another gentleman that they just got the bag for. But they got the bag for Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is definitely going to be one of the biggest stars in the Los Angeles area. He agreed to a 4-year extension worth $60 million. So I guess that Brinks truck that Isaiah Thomas was looking for ended up in front of Todd Gurley's house.
But what was guaranteed?
$45 million.
Oh, good Lord.
$45 million. Ooh. That boy paid.
He
rich. He got his own money. That boy got his own money, H.
It's printed out for him.
But it's not just him. And it's funny that the Rams are spending all this money as one of the best defensive players in the NFL who currently sits on their roster. Aaron Donald is currently waiting like, can I get some coins?
That boy need to get paid.
The Rams are making some moves. Now, they picked up Ndamukong Suh. They picked up cornerback Marcus Peters. They picked up cornerback Aqib Khalid.
That boy ain't so hard to pronounce.
And they also brought over former Saint and former New England Patriot wide receiver. We saw him knocked out of the playoffs, knocked out of the Super Bowl, thanks to Mr. Malcolm Jenkins, Brandon Cooks, who also signed an extension when he came over. Too. The Rams went 11-5 last year. Right. They were knocked out by the Falcons in a Rams home game in the playoffs.
Terrible.
But the Rams are looking good. So, gentlemen, I got to ask you guys, what can we expect from these new-look Rams?
Whew. I know one thing. In the words of your former Philadelphia Eagle quarterback, Vince Young, they got a little dream team brewing up over there. So we're going to see all those different personalities that they got with Marcus Peters and Sue, with them two right there. And to leave, so he might
interesting locker room.
It's going to be a headstrong locker room because, it's going to be a lot of – I would love to be a fly on the wall. I would love to be a fly on the wall just to hear what's going on in that locker room. But, it should be very interesting. They went 11-5 last year. They had a decent division with the NFC West. But I'm pretty sure they're going to win that division easily and probably be one of the top.
Easily. No San Fran threats? Jimmy G?
Jimmy G had a good 5 games. I'll get the Rams. The 49ers are probably a year away.
Okay.
So, let them get more acclimated to the system. And Jimmy G hype, that'll probably come down. He ain't going to win 5 straight games again this year. But I see the Rams probably be in the top. If they don't get home field advantage, they'll probably be one of the top 4 seeds in the NFC.
How are you seeing these things phasing out, H?
Well, since my Jets is terrible, I'm going to roll with the Giants, man. That's all I'm worrying about.
Just like a New York person.
So he's not even giving LA no love. The West Coast, the only player in the West Coast that get love for you right now is Brian, huh? We not even know.
That's all.
It's funny what you say about being a flyer on the wall, because that is something. The Rams have one of the youngest coaches in the NFL, Sean McVay. He's actually a Georgia boy from right out here in the backyards. He comes to a lot of the Hawks games and things. So he may know how to communicate with the young team.
It's true.
It'll be interesting to see that, as we mentioned, Cooks is there now. They also have a pretty good receiver in Robert Woods, who went to USC. He's also a native of that area.
Trojan.
But for the past few years, Todd Gurley has not only led the team in rushing, he's also led the team in receiving. So I think that's part of the reason why he was able to get that big bag from the Rams. And I think they're going to rely heavy on Todd Gurley. This will be Todd, I need you, baby. You helped me out in fantasy football last year. I need you to do it again. Don't let the money change you, Todd. Don't let the money change you, Todd.
Don't get hurt, okay? Don't get hurt, because you know how that happens. You know what happens. Dudes get paid. Then next thing you know, they start slacking off and then getting injuries and all this. But the video that I was impressed with after he got his contract, he was in the gym. I was like, okay, so
he seemed to have his head on straight. He seemed to be like that since his days in Georgia.
So,
I don't think he'll have those problems.
But you know what I'm saying, like you said, the money, Khalida. I know that's your boy. You need to tell your boy we need to slide some of that money to us. You know what I'm saying? We need some of that paper, Todd.
Stay away from Magic City when you get home, man. Stay away. So with training camp underway, we'll get to see a few teams reported today. The remainder of the teams will be reporting tomorrow, which will be Friday. We got a couple minutes before we end up reaching Friday. So I want to ask you, man, give us 2 teams, in your opinion, that we should keep our eyes on this year.
So this team I had in the NFC, they didn't make the playoffs last year. We all know why they didn't make the playoffs, because arguably the best quarterback in the NFL didn't play. Got hurt.
No, we won the Super Bowl when the best quarterback in the NFL went down.
Not him.
Carson Wentz.
No.
Okay.
Carson Wentz was hurt. So it's in the words of Stephen A. Smith, that was the bad man, Aaron Rodgers. So he's coming back this season. And they got a good weapon with Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy.
And
he got to stay healthy.
He definitely got to stay healthy. Both of them got to stay healthy. And see if they can finally get a running game up there. So because Aaron Rodgers want to do everything, that will help a little bit. And I want to see how he produces without Jordy Nelson. So that's gonna be a big loss for them. So Devontae Adams is gonna be a big year for him.
Do you have them winning the North then? Is that where you're going with them?
No, because they still got the Vikings up there and the Lions are up and coming.
So wild card or bust for them?
Yeah, wild card or bust. But we know we can't get too high or too low on the Packers, because we all know, in the words of Aaron Rodgers always says, relax, relax. So he never be pressured with it. So I'm never gonna count out Aaron Rodgers. So you never know, he might strike or they might go 12-4. Who knows?
Where do you have them going?
I see 9-7, 10-6. I can see that, and then they fight for the wild card, if not home, not winning the division. In the AFC, I'm definitely gonna be a homer. I don't care what none of y'all say. You know what I'm saying? We got Baby Vic. Hey, you give me that look, man.
No, I like that.
We finally got some weapons a little bit on the outside. Thank God. I know. So everybody not a big fan of Michael Crabtree. He had a lot of touchdowns last season.
But what is this team?
Man, Baltimore, man. What you mean? Baltimore.
I know who you're loving, but
everybody who knows me knows, you know what I'm saying, it's black and purple, baby. And I ain't talking about the Vikings. So, these Ravens, okay? You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time. We've been out the playoffs.
Those the wrong birds on I-95.
Yeah, well, all birds win Super Bowls.
So do ours.
Yeah, touche. All birds team win Super Bowls except the Falcons. But but you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be a big season for us. It's last year out of 4 years we've been on the cusp, and then
hold on, what's up with you and these teams in the North? You picking a NFC team North and the Packers, and now AFC North team and your Ravens.
Hey man, because all the South teams, you know what I'm saying, the Saints was, they're gonna be in the playoffs. In AFC South, the Jaguars, they're gonna make the playoffs. So gotta shake things up, So I want to see if Joe Flacco can keep his job, because the last 2 seasons, Lord, it's been painful for me to watch, and the season's hot, because depending how we start off 3-1, he's cool. 1-3, 2-2, 2-3, yeah. Lamar Jackson is on your heels like, hey, yo. You know what I'm saying, about that time, brother. You know what I'm saying, you go sit on the sidelines. Time for the new era to start. Even though we do have Robert Griffin. Yeah. So he's not RG3 no more. He goes by his full government name, Robert Griffin III. No RG3 no more.
The RG3 days are done?
Yeah, done. So, like I said, we finally got a good receiving core, decent receiving core, good running backs. Defense is gonna be good like always. So, what I'm saying, I'm expecting we're gonna beat Pittsburgh. Because they got a whole bunch of other outside things that are going to derail them this season. So if we don't win the division, I say we go 11-5. Yeah, I go 11-5.
It's interesting to me. Both of my teams are actually in the AFC. In the NFC, I'm sticking with my Eagles. I don't really see any surprise teams. You gave mention to what we'll see the Rams do in the previous portion of the show. I think the Rams will also be pretty good as well. Falcons, eyes up and down. The NFC South to me is one of the toughest divisions in football, especially when Jameis Winston has his head on straight. I'm still waiting for the Bucs to turn that corner.
I think everybody is.
But I went with another team, and this team is actually in the AFC West. Now, they have some Eagles bias because their former head coach, Andy Reid, is now running the show out there.
Big Kool-Aid.
I'm interested to see what Big Kool-Aid, Big Red, and the Kansas City Chiefs can do. Now, they shipped Alex Smith out. Alex Smith is gone. He's now a member of the Washington football team. I rarely say with their name that after and whatnot.
The Redskins.
And I'm interested to see Patrick Mahomes, man. I think that cat is a gunslinger.
That's what they say.
And he'll have a key target in Travis Kelce. He's one of the best tight ends in the league, in my opinion.
Give me good fantasy points.
And with a quarterback whisperer as Andy Reid, I think the Chiefs are going to make some noise this season.
They got Sammy Watkins, too.
Sammy was hot. So just throw it up.
Sammy Watkins. You got, what's the boy from Oregon?
Anthony Thomas.
Anthony Thomas.
You
got Kareem Hunt. You got
They got some weapons out there,
Tyreek
man.
Hill.
They got some weapons out there.
They got
So Mahomes, I'm not sold on what the Broncos did with Case Keenum.
Nah.
I'm not sold on that. The Chargers are a team to look out for, and I
about
was
too.
strongly considering the Chargers. I really, really was. But it just something always goes wrong with them, And they got my boy out there. I got they picked up my man Darwin James in the first round. Go Noles from Florida State. So I'm looking for him to have a great rookie year. But I just don't know. So the Chiefs are a team that I'm going to have on my radar this season, and I really want to see what Mahomes is able to do under the tutelage of Andy Reid. And then you mentioned this team a moment ago, and I still think they're a sleeper because when you have a quarterback such as Blake Bortles, I'm sorry, Blake. Sorry, man. A guy that you never know what you're going to get, no matter how great the defense is. As I mentioned, you just don't know. Tennessee's looking good. They're saying Andrew Luck is going to come back. I got to see that to believe it. I got to see that to believe it. And Houston is no slouch,
AFC
so
South might be up for grabs.
They might be up for grabs. So I went with the Jaguars. As my second team. That's a sleeper team. I'm in love with the defense. Another gentleman that went to Florida State. Go Noles. And Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Your man from your team, LSU.
Exactly.
One of those Tigers, Leonard Fournette.
Exactly.
He slipped down this season. This will be his sophomore year as a running back with the Jaguars. I'm looking to see what he can do. Now, they have weapons out on the outsides of the wide receiver position. So Blake Bortles, get it done.
Please don't stink it up, please.
Get it done, Blake, because I honestly thought the Jaguars should have went after Lamar Jackson. I thought that would have been a steal. I was surprised that he fell to you guys. I do think, your coach is a phenomenal coach. I'll tip my hat. He's a great GM, so I tip my hat to your program there in Baltimore. But I thought the Jaguars slept by not taking Lamar Jackson.
That would have been
it would have been nasty.
Him and Fournette
would have been nasty.
Yeah.
But we heard H talking about the Giants a minute ago. I trust in Tom Coughlin, a gentleman who's beat the hoodie Bill Belichick and Tom Brady twice. So I trust in him, and it seems like what he's building with that defense is one of the highest paid defensive lines in the NFL.
Big money.
I think he knows what he's doing, man. So I'm going with the Chiefs, and I'm going with the Jaguars as well. Talking about the Giants, man. The Giants, they got a lot of things up in the air. Is Eli going to be quarterback all year long? Will OBJ be paid? But someone that's looking good right now, although he has yet to actually lace up his cleats in a regular season or preseason game, is Saquon Barkley. So let me ask you this, man. H, I want you to join in on this combo as well.
You can talk about this, H.
As we talk about these Giants.
You can talk about this.
Will Saquon live up to the hype?
He better.
$31 million 4-year contract. They're saying that the Giants have not had a 1,000-yard rusher.
I graduated college last time.
Since 2012.
That's when I graduated college.
It was Ahmad Bradshaw 6 years ago since the Giants have had a 1,000-yard.
That's terrible.
So they're putting a lot of pressure on Eli every year. So I think the criticism of Eli is kind of unwarranted because, hell, what the hell? You're coming to the game playing the Giants. You know they're looking to pass for 400 yards. So let's go get the quarterback.
He ain't going to run.
He's going nowhere. Is Saquon going to live up to the hype? And will he be that addition that Odell and Eli need to help the passing game continue to grow?
Ace, what you think about that?
Yeah, he gonna get busy. What do you mean? That's what Eli needs. He's like Tiki. So, he got a wide receiver in Odell, and then he got somebody that
I like that. He's like Tiki.
Yeah. He go. So
we don't fumble like him.
I see Super Bowl for them brothers.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
Well,
See, he's speaking, ladies and gentlemen. He's speaking as a New Yorker, and they think they're gonna win every championship, the NBA Finals, the Super Bowl between.
Is this Madden?
I guess
Madden franchise bowl, Super Bowl.
I mean,
because they play in the NFC East, so I know what's happening in that division.
Y'all might win. I give y'all 9.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I give y'all 9. I give y'all 9-7. Y'all be better than the Cowboys, I hope.
I see him going 8-8. I think Saquon is going to be a Rookie of the Year candidate. I don't know if he'll rush for over 1,000 yards, but I do think he'll have over 1,000 all-purpose yards.
They're gonna force feed him the ball.
They're gonna force, of course. They're gonna force. I see heavy screens.
They're gonna work him.
I think that's why they paid him that money.
He's built for it, so you know what I'm saying. You guys, but the main thing is what they have to do is you better pay Odell. You gotta pay Odell. I mean,
we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that because I agree with you there. I do agree with you there. But we're gonna talk about that momentarily. So, gentlemen, from all of us, H, we'll start with you. B Diddy, then I want you to let me know. Super Bowl 53 will be right down the street, less than a mile away. We can jog there after the show tonight, set up our tents and wait. We can claim our spots today. You know what I'm saying? For Super Bowl 53, it'll take place in February 2019 right here in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. H, not them Giants, not those Jets. Who do you see representing the NFC and the AFC in Super Bowl 53?
He gonna say the Giants and Jets.
Of course, I'm gonna say the Giants.
So you really believe that? You think
They got a squad now. They have a squad.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not gonna die here.
We're gonna see. Okay.
That's one team. So who they gonna play against? Themselves.
Wait, say that again.
They got who they gonna play against? They gotta have an opponent.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Who you going with, B?
So, H is funny, man.
Hilarious.
Well, I'm going with. This might make my dad happy, and my other family members. And Lord, this is coming out of my mouth. I actually have. And Falcons fans might be mad, but it'll be funny to me.
Oh, not the team in the know ya.
I have the Saints in the Super Bowl against Baltimore.
You know it'll be some shit, and I had to say some shit on this one.
Boy, I would laugh.
Falcons fans might get out there and
they can do what they want.
Go crazy if the Saints are playing in the Super Bowl on Falcons territory on the Falcons turf.
First of all,
oh my goodness,
boy, I'll go.
Oh my god! I thought we hate the Cowboys and the Giants. The Falcons hate the Saints. That is a beautiful rivalry.
They hate them because one, the whole Katrina thing, they came down here, and one, they the same division, and the Saints won Super Bowl. The Falcons haven't won, and the Falcons, saying they've really done anything outside Michael Vick. Yeah, they won the Super Bowl that one year, 28-3. But outside of that. What really success have they have outside of Michael Vick in that one Super Bowl? You had a whole bunch of regular season wins and then losing the playoffs. Y'all won your first playoff game this year and they lost. Got smacked to the Eagles. Yeah, but I really feel like it'll be the Saints should got that last year. To be honest, they should have got that last year.
Got where? The Super Bowl?
Yeah, they would have beat y'all.
No.
They would have beat y'all.
Drew Brees does not perform well. I initially wanted the Saints instead of the Vikings because Drew Brees was not coming to Philly where it was going to be 30 degrees and walking out of there with a trip to the Super Bowl. Was not happening.
Hey, might have.
If we would have had to go to New Orleans and play in the Dome, it's anybody's game. But in Philly, as we showed with the Falcons, when I knew Matt Ryan wasn't coming to Philly and beating us in outdoor weather, and I knew it was not happening. I knew Case Keenum wasn't going to come up there.
Case Keenum ain't built
and especially once Vikings fans with the Rocky steps and sabotage us with all this gold and purple Viking stuff. I knew that was a wash. But I wanted Drew Brees. I just did not see Drew Brees, and I think Alvin Kamara is a great player. Sean Payton's a guy you can never count out. But I just did not see them coming to Philadelphia and leaving out of Lincoln Financial Field with a Super Bowl or with a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
But yeah, I know a lot of Falcons people that not my friends. They'll see this. They'll probably get mad, but they know I can't stand the Falcons. So.
Saints and the Ravens.
Saints and the Ravens.
I'm myself. I'm going to be a homer as well. I see my Eagles getting back to the Super Bowl. I see us getting back to the Super Bowl and making that trip from 95 to 85 down here to the Benz. And I see them playing a team I mentioned a little while ago, Jacksonville. I think the experience that Jacksonville got, they should have beat the Patriots last year. I blame a lot of that on Doug Marrone and just going conservative in the second half. One drive puts Tom Brady and them away, and they're playing in Super Bowl 52, Jacksonville. So I have the Eagles and Jacksonville actually going to the Super Bowl. Of course, I have the Eagles winning that game, but I got the Eagles and Jacksonville. But as you said about the Saints, if you're an NFL lover, if you love the NFL, you have to experience at least one time in your life a tailgate pregame of the Saints and the Falcons. It's nothing like it, man. It is nothing.
You might leave out with a black
Philly,
eye.
y'all heard all the rumors about Philly fans and how ruthless we can. And it is nothing like a Saints and Falcons rivalry.
It's one for the ages. Cause
it's one for the well said.
It's one for the ages because I know it's ironically enough. I know one of the ladies who work with me. She's from New Orleans, but she's a Falcons fan. How? I don't know, but she is. From New Orleans, you can hear the accent and everything, but she is a die-hard Falcons fan.
Oh, that must be a rough Sunday for her.
And hey, man, I tried to tell her, I said, your family don't love you, do they?
But they throwing gumbo at her.
Everything, but it's if people. I'm trying to tell you, like he said, y'all need to calm down. Get on social media. Just look at some of the clips. Saints and Falcons games be turned
from the parking lot into the arena. Whichever arena, Mercedes-Benz Superdome or the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Exactly. The Falcons try to be like the Saints right now.
But it'll end in 2019. Next year is the last year that the Saints Stadium will be the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Then the Falcons will be the only Mercedes-Benz team. But I heard Saints fans talking trash about that. Damn, we can't even have a Benz to ourselves. Y'all gotta be.
Yeah, be like us.
You gotta be like us. Man. That is funny though. Mercedes-Benz Superdome and Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Mercedes-Benz getting all that money. All that money.
I need a job in a Maybach. What's up?
Well, that's talking about the Super Bowl. Us talking about NFL training camp. It gets us to wonder, and got to give a big shout out to our executive producer H. GMs in sports. Should athletes trust them?
No.
We see. We know it's a business, and I think sometimes we're sports reporters, but at the same time we love the game, and we're fans as well. We're fans of the game, whether that be football, baseball, basketball, or now soccer. We are also fans of the game as well. So when we go home and put our slides, our flip flops on, and relax, after a hard day's work, we're fans as well. We want to see dope things that go on. But we have to understand as media members, reporters, and as fans that it's a business. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just like going to Foot Locker. It's just like working at a Fortune 500 club. Yes, we have these star players who we try to identify with in their respective sports, but it's a job. They have coaches to answer to. The coaches have GMs to answer to. The GMs need to meet a bottom line based off of the teams they create because they have to answer to, as you mentioned, the team presidents and the owners.
Yep.
We've seen some shaky things go down in business. We can mention the DeMar DeRozan trade that took place not too long ago for Kawhi Leonard. We know about Pittsburgh Steelers, as you mentioned a moment ago previously in the show. They had issues of their own, those issues being Le'Veon Bell, one of the greatest offensive weapons we've ever seen, and he's consistently season after season in contract negotiations. Odell Beckham, as you mentioned, a gentleman who is changing the way we look at the wide receiver and changing the way we see football players. Folks don't realize the NFL isn't the NBA where we see LeBron's face, we see Kobe's face, we see Steph Curry's face. These players have masks on, so it's rare unless they stand out in a particular way. Odell Beckham with the phenomenal catches, with the blonde hair and tattoos.
All the kids.
He's changing the way we look at the game. Isaiah Thomas, a gentleman who played for Boston, and we mentioned that he was talking about, hey, they're going to bring the Brinks truck out for me, And right now, they not even bringing out the kid toy Hess truck for that brother. The Tonka truck that we played with as little kids. You know, he's signing veteran minimum deals. And DeMarcus Cousins, a gentleman who possibly could have made anywhere from $175 million to $200 million this season, who was hurt last season after declining a 2-year, $40 million extension to stay with the Pelicans, who's now playing on a 1-year, $5 million deal. So we see these athletes consistently, they're losing out on money. So, gentlemen, I got to ask you, as we just stated, GMs across sports, can they be trusted?
In the words of Young Metro.
If Young Metro don't trust you.
No, you can't trust. Man, no. Because they'll tell you everything in the world that you want to hear to get you here. And then, as we see what they have with DeMar DeRozan, like I said previous episodes, they'll talk to you 3 weeks prior, and then 3 weeks later, don't even let you know nothing. You get traded.
But is that their job? The same way we expect DeMar DeRozan to go beat LeBron, and we expect Steph Curry to hit threes from half court, the GMs are looked upon to, you know, put the best product on the field or on the court or on the diamond if it's baseball to win. So, I mean, should there be a level of trust there?
It should be on both sides. But if I'm a player and I'm doing, you know, the necessary things I got to do, and we had one in Toronto's case, we had one big fish in the sea, and that fish is gone. This is our best time. And then, you know what I'm saying, we were the number one team in the East, had one of the best records in the league, and I'm your franchise player, and then you don't even give me the decency to let me know that y'all gonna trade me, and then you pull out this statement, and I think we all know that was just for publicity. So I think it's really it was
apologizing.
cool. Yeah, apologize, and then, you know, try to save face because you did them dirty. But, you know, it happens all the time. I've seen it happen a plethora of times. And Isaiah's case, like you was mentioning, the man shouldn't have been playing, and since the passing, hip was messed up, still going out there playing on an injured hip, thinking he was going to get paid on the back end for his services where he's provided for you guys. But he got traded as well. So it's a bit. Sports business is a cold world. Very cold.
Let me ask you this though: you are a GM. Would you have made the trade? You let's say, of course, there's probably not even no time for him to call DeMar to be like,
oh, this time.
Oh,
you got my the age we live in. He could have sent him a text. Yo, bro, you up out of here. Thank you.
You could have sent him a message. Hey, we need to meet real quick, or FaceTime them or call them or something.
But supposedly they met Monday and DeMar was gone Wednesday.
And that meeting, I'm not gonna trade you.
No, well, the way he said it, it wasn't no meeting. He saw him at the summer league shit, and that's where they talked at.
But
that's a meeting still. That's a meeting.
Yeah, that's talking. You know, that's you in passing.
Right.
At age, you know what I'm saying? What we doing now? You know what I'm saying? We good. And then on the backside of me,
But hold up. The next day, something can happen, right?
But they at least give me the, you know what I'm saying? Call me. Don't let me find out through right after you made the trade. Soon you made the trade. Oh yeah, we about to ship you out of here. I ain't got no time to process everything, and then that led to the whole Twitter, the IG rant that he had. So I mean, if I was a GM, yeah, you try to do what's best for the team, but you also gotta look at the long term of everything. Because if he's your best player, your franchise, and he's done everything right in the community, everything like this, and like you said, in his instance, you only had one fish in the sea that was derailing y'all. Now he's gone, so who knows what could happen? That could be your best chance to get to the finals, even though y'all did get Kawhi.
Is it a better team now?
He's definitely in a better situation. So he was mad, but
no, is Toronto better?
Oh, Toronto better?
We have that's yet to be determined. New head coach.
That's
Kawhi may be a better player. He may be. And the only reason I say maybe is because
he plays defense.
We not even just that. Now we have to see what Kawhi does outside of Coach Popovich. Is Kawhi truly a great superstar? I think he's a great player. But how much of that was the coaching of
in the system?
You in the system type shit. That's what you're saying.
We see.
Basketball.
No. But see, we can't have it both ways, because cats will say, "Oh man, LeBron never had a great coach to play up under his system and whatnot." then we talk about Popovich and say it's not a system. It is systems. Phil Jackson, he was winning chips with his Steve Kerr is running the same systems that Popovich ran, that Phil Jackson ran.
Steve
now
Kerr's
the Warriors
Steve Kerr's luckiest man in NBA history.
Systems. They are systems. And with Toronto if Toronto still had Dwayne Casey, then maybe we could say it's a true upgrade. But with this cat Nick Nurse, who we have no blueprint, we don't know what type of schemes and what he's going to bring to the table.
DeMar would have been familiar with him because he was the assistant. So we don't know what kind of offense he's going to run or what kind of scheme, like you were saying, he's going to run. So it's going to be very interesting. But I said once it happened, DeMar was going to be in a better situation. So, and he still can't shake LeBron, but
can't shake him.
He's in a better situation with being in San Antonio.
I think it's kind of, it differs in both sports if we think about it, because in the NBA it's a lot more guaranteed money. In the NBA, GM can tell you one thing, you get hurt, it's a lot more guaranteed money. In the NFL, in the cases of the Le'Veon Bells and the Odell Beckhams, that money's not guaranteed. So you're kind of relying, you're relying on the GM too. You want to have some trust in him, knowing that, as I'm putting my body and my health out on the line, that, the right thing will be done and I'll be accommodated appropriately, for my play. But we keep saying, Le'Veon Bell is the prime example in a prominent program such as Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a prominent program, and yet and still they keep giving this brother the runaround.
I love it.
I bet you.
I love all the dysfunction between them. So they can continue that and let him be dysfunctional and mad. He can sit out the whole season for all I care. You know what I'm saying? He can sit out the season, be a free agent. Come on, Baltimore.
And as you say that hurts players in the NFL as well, because when they're looking for trust in their GMs, if they take games away, they're being docked at a lot of times. Like Julio would have been docked. I feel like it was something like forgive me for not knowing the exact amount, but I think it may have been something like $100K per game.
If he would have missed a day of training camp, it was $40,000 a day. If
he'd have missed training camp, and then
$40,000 a day.
If he just per se would have started missing games, it'd have been $1 million a game. I know it was something like that. It'd have been like $1 million per. Like, who the hell can miss $1 million? Regardless of how much money. Regardless of how much money you have.
$1 million is $1 million.
$1 million is $1 million. So I think it differs, and I think athletes just have to realize that this is a business. I think if athletes get that in the back of their head, then maybe they'll go about the players' unions will be stronger in the way they set things up.
NFL definitely a better player union.
They'll be able to conduct business with their agents better. Like, hey, I need X, Y, and Z in my deal and my contract, so that you don't have to rely so heavily on a GM to hope that you're not being played or coming up in misfortunate predicaments. Ace, what do you think?
Don't trust them. That's all.
Yeah.
Don't trust them. Don't save them.
Don't save them. Don't trust them. Young Metro told y'all.
Don't worry, we got a lot more coming up. We'll be wrapping up the show soon. Still got to talk about Puma Hoops and their impact on the new look NBA. What will they be doing with Jay-Z? We'll talk about that in a moment. We'll talk about 2 players in the NBA who'll be looking at a shoe deal and losing a shoe deal. And as we wrap up, we'll just talk about Lewis Williams, his camp that took place this week in South Gwinnett. The TBT, that's the tournament, the basketball tournament that's currently taking place at Georgia State, and a few more things. I'm Terrell Thomas.
And I'm Brandon Trish.
We got our man H. Diddy behind the 1-2, making things go down right here. You're tuned in right now to These Urban Times, and Live Hip Hop Daily presents Sideline Stories, live as always from the Live Hip Hop Daily studios.